Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, May 7th, and I am logging on and I'm guided to talk to you guys about card readings and what card readings actually are. So I think there's a stigma attached to card reading because many religions and even the Bible says that mediumship is bad and that you're not supposed to predict the future and only God knows the future. And that is absolutely true. We don't know the future and only God knows the future. And this is why. So cards in general are just a tool that we can use, okay, to visualize the energy that we're tapping into or picking up on, okay? That is when I pull cards. It doesn't have to be tarot cards. It can be any cards. It could be cards that I create myself. I always use my own cards, actually. So I am actually tapping in to the energy that I am already picking up on intuitively, and I'm laying down the cards so then I can actually take and visualize that energy to explain it to the person. I'm mirroring back to them their energy, and I'm using the cards as a tool, okay? I am not predicting the future when I am tapping into their energy. I'm tapping into their energy and I'm speaking to them what's going on in their energy. Okay. And when people stay in a certain energy, vibration, and frequency, because that's what we're all in, God created energy, vibration, and frequency. When we stay in certain timelines, we can manifest a potential outcome. That is what I'm tapping into. That's why the future, I'm only tapping into what that possibility is. Okay. It appears that I'm tapping and reading the future, but I'm not. Here's why. Because it is your free will. God gave us all a gift here, and that is free will, okay? It is our free will to go within and change ourselves. To change our vibration, energy, and frequency comes down to our free will, okay? So if I do a reading on you and then you decide to change something about yourself, you and then are jumping into a different timeline or energy, vibration, and frequency, which can be called a different timeline, and you can have a potentially different outcome. It is up to you what those timelines and what your future is. Only God knows the future, okay? When a card reader reads you, and I'm going to say you do have to be mindful of who you allow into your energy, okay? Because our energy has been being hijacked, okay? There is manipulation out there, okay? That's why so many people are stuck, okay? But when I tap into your energy, I am picking up on a potential outcome. If you stay doing what you're doing and you don't change anything, then it's going to manifest. So I'm just picking up on something that is going to manifest or hasn't manifested yet that possibly could be. It is not the future, okay? This is what I'm trying to explain, because you can ultimately change it. And you have to remember that other people have free will too. So if I do a reading for you on somebody you want to know information about, I'm picking up on a potential outcome if they stay along that path. But again, that person can change because they have free will, so then their outcome can be different as well. Okay? Are you guys starting to understand how this works? I'm tapping into energy, and the reason why it looks like the future is because it just hasn't manifested yet, but I'm picking up on the energy because in our energy, there's a lag in time when it manifests, okay? Some people can manifest instantly. They think it and then it happens, okay? Some people think it and then it takes a while before it actually manifests here into the material world, okay? That's why energy comes first and then the manifestation of it comes next, okay? Do you see how that works? That's why you have to go deep within. That's why I always say everybody has to do energy healing, because that's the root of where it's coming from when it manifests into your reality. And it can things can manifest as physical ailments within your body, okay? And then in turn, you see it in your environment, okay? This is all about your journey and you tapping and going within to change yourself, okay? You can't change others, only yourself. And that's why God sent Jesus here, okay? To be our guide, to be our way shower. The true story of Jesus is about ascension, okay? The true story, I'm saying this because the story has been hijacked and manipulated, okay? And only seen through perspective of you have butterflies and you have caterpillars, okay? You can't make a caterpillar see at a butterfly's view until they have ascended. Do you remember the story? God's promise to us is the rainbow, okay? So when we think that, we think the rainbow in the sky. That's God. When we see the rainbow, God promised not to send a flood and wipe everything out anymore. God understands that I need to show them how to have a connection with myself, because God understands that free will and things have been hijacked and there's a lot of manipulation going on. So how do we find our way back to God? God sent Jesus here to help show us the way back to God, okay? Jesus is the way shower. And the reason why I bring up the rainbow, okay, the rainbow has also been hijacked to be distorted into different meanings, but the rainbow actually is the chakra system, okay? Our chakra system, when it's open and flowing and beautiful, it is the color of the rainbow, and it is our telephone line of communication up to God directly, okay? So let's talk about the rainbow. I'm going to go further into it. It is the color of our chakra system. It is our communication line, like I said, to God, okay? What happens and what has happened is there has been an energy distortion and manipulation that's been taking place from our solar plexus down. That's why there's people here that can walk around and be heartless because they've never ascended up to their heart out of the third chakra, okay? Also, when we have bad experiences and things happen to us like trauma, that trauma energy sits with our chakra system, causing that chakra to look black. It's not even the color of the rainbow anymore, right? When I'm looking at an unhealthy chakra system, I'm going to see the colors of the rainbow, but I'm going to see those colors being distorted with black darkness sitting there, okay? That's why when I started working, okay, I was in the legal field and I started working with sexually assaulted victims of, crimes. Their chakra system, especially in their sacral chakra, where our reproductive organs are, many of them were saying that, they were having UTIs every other week. They were having, they're having hysterectomies in their, early 30s. And they had a lot of trauma in that chakra system, right? And they were still carrying that dark energy. And they would say to me, like, no matter what they did to get out of certain situations, like the same type of people, just in a different form, different body, but the same type of person would always find them. Or, they would attract that type of person. Well, the reason why is because their energy within their system was reflecting to them, okay? The darkness. So that's why you have to cleanse yourself. That's why you have to go within and cleanse yourself and do your healing at a cellular energetic level in order to cleanse yourself, to have a healthy chakra system, and then in turn attract the healthy, to you. That's what people don't understand. When you're carrying that trauma within your chakra system, it is going to keep manifesting those trauma outcomes in order for you to go within and change and to heal yourself, okay? And I'm not saying this is easy. This is not easy at all, okay? Going through and healing is hard, okay? It is very, very difficult. It takes a lot of work, and it can take many years, here, okay? So when the trauma and the negative energy is sitting in your chakra, it's actually clogging up your telephone line of communication. So think of a telephone line of communication, like back in the old days, cord. And think about if that cord is snipped or if there's gunk inside the cord, your connection is going to be distorted, right? You might not hear things correctly. You might not receive the information correctly because of all the gunk and things blocking your line of communication. So that's how you can look at the chakra system. When it's all filled and gunked up with toxic black energy, it's going to sit there and things are going to be distorted. That's why God sent Jesus here, to show you, to remind you that there is a way back to God, and God will help you with everything. Okay? So again, all things are possible with God. Okay? It takes you going within and having that personal connection with God. And it's your responsibility to go in and heal yourself in order to have that, okay? And that's about getting out of, I understand when we have things that are horrible that happen to us and there's trauma. That's why it's important to not stay in a victim mentality or a victim mindset, because you do have the power within to go in and heal yourself, okay? To become the best version of yourself, not to allow trauma to have any hold or control over you anymore. That's why forgiveness is the most important thing. And I know this is very hard. It's very hard to forgive. And a lot of you will say, Erica, I'll never forgive that. But you have to, in order to be fully healed, go within and have that personal connection with God, and God will help you heal. So getting back to the cards, okay? Again, the cards are just a tool to use, to visualize the energy that is already manifesting, okay, but can change. So cards are not about reading the future. And if you go to a card reader that says they can predict their future, then they ultimately are not understanding how this all works. And therefore, they're spreading disinformation. You have to be mindful about who you let in to read you. You're not just going to give permission to anybody to come into your energy, because people can manipulate energy, okay? When you have your door closed of your home, you don't just allow anybody into your home. You want to know a little bit about them or do some research first, right? Before you let somebody come into your safe and personal space. That's why you have to put God's armor around you, okay? Your chakra system looks like a bubble, like a force field around you. And when it's healthy, you have that divine protection because you are connected to God, okay? When we consume alcohol, for example, alcohol weakens our aura, so our bubble of protection around us, and it weakens our aura in the solar plexus, and that's where the darkness comes in. You can call it demons or devil or whatever you call the darkness, to come in and hijack your energy. That's why when you look at somebody who's been drinking and you look at their eyes, you're like, gosh, they look possessed. They look like not the same person. It's because they are possessed. They're not the same person because they just allowed the darkness to come in and take over, because they weaken their aura and their energy field of protection. Why do you think they call alcohol spirits? Okay. If you go back to Aristotle quoted when he consumed alcohol that he felt like spirits were taking over his body, okay? When you drive through, for example, a small town, you see signs that say, welcome, food and spirits. They're referring to food and alcohol, but this is where they get the name. It is not about the fermenting of it. You can go in and try to Google. There's lots of disinformation that's out there. But you all see it. Alcohol is legal, and it is the biggest, causes the biggest problems, right? It's because you're allowing the demons in, and people just don't understand this. You have to understand how this works, okay? In order to become healthy, best version of yourself, and have a personal connection with God, to bring love and light here. To wrap this up. The reason why I actually wanted to create this is because I've had a lot of people who I have given a lot of time and energy to, and a lot, that I've sacrificed for, that whenever I shed light or cast a shadow onto their darkness or their truths, which actually end up being lies and deceit and deception, the first thing they do and say to me is, well, you're just a crazy card reader. And, I chuckle and laugh about it because obviously they don't understand how this all works. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to demean me, and they're trying to make me feel bad. And they're trying to make me second guess myself, okay? But I am spiritually sound, and, you know, I'm here to spread love and light to the world. So therefore, I in turn have to heal myself as well. I'm on my journey here also, along with all of you. I'm going through and healing to become the best version of myself, to become spiritually sound and not have people, places, events, things that have power and control over me, okay? So that's why I'm here to create this video, to let you know that you can have a personal relationship with God. You have to, in order to heal and ascend into enlightenment. And ultimately, the goal is to spread love and light here upon the world, to make the world a better place to be. Okay, everyone, so that is my message today. Thank you for listening. Bye.